Well, here we go. This is our backyard. This is our porch here, or what we call what would you call it? Like a trellis thing or whatever. Really nice. We've really decorated it with a lot of flowers, strawberries, plants, things of that nature. Yep. Just, basically we come here just to relax, and enjoy ourselves, Yep, that's what it's all about. Just having a little fun, just enjoying ourselves. So we come here, we just get a little cozy, and then over here, got some trees over here. This one here, we're not sure what that one is. It's a fruit tree, but this one here is pomegranate. It's a nice young tree. Got that a couple weeks ago, and this over here is the mandarin quat. And the mandarin quat is producing fruit. It's really just about ready. And as you can tell, it's like a teardrop fruit, so it all looks really good, looks like good to eat too. So, and then over here we got another section that we're not quite sure what we're going to use it as, but I'm thinking maybe someday putting a jacuzzi in there. So we'll see. We don't know yet, but it's possible. Okay, and over here, just gonna walk down here. Okay, so leave this area. And then we're gonna walk over here, and try and be careful with this. As you can tell, I'm an amateur. Over here we've got our avocado tree, and this avocado tree we've had for almost 8 months now, and it is gorgeous. It's definitely looking good. We can finally see it's bearing some avocado fruit. If I can zoom in on some of it. Oh yeah, there we are. There's one right there. There's the avocados, and there's a couple of them. Tree is really doing good. Very healthy tree, as you can tell. You got to be careful with avocados. You don't want to overwater it. That's the only thing. Then over here, we got a jujube tree. We weren't sure about this one either during the winter because I just had planted it like last year and it lost all its leaves. But little did I know that's pretty common for the jujube tree. They lose their leaves during the winter months, and then during the summer they come back, and that's just part of the growing process of the jujube. Jujube tree is a very beautiful tree. It produces little apple-like fruit, very sweet, very tasty. It's a very unique tree because of the way it grows. It actually branches out into like 4 to 5 segments, and it's really unique. Then over here, this way we've got, this is what we call the calamansi tree. Of course, we planted it in a pot, so it's not going to get as big as it would in the ground, but yet it still will grow pretty tall, probably 20 to 30 feet. So we're just looking at that for a couple months. It's been doing pretty good. Of course, over here we got our plumerias. During the winter, they don't really have any flowers, but during the summer, they're absolutely gorgeous. Give out a really nice fragrance as well. So then over here, let's go down over here to our orchard, and this is where we have all our fruit. Okay, so down here, as you can tell over here, this is our orange tree. It's got some fresh flowers here, so that's going to be some fruit. We've already harvested half of it, but we still have a ways to go. There's still a lot of fruit in this tree. So let's see if I can get in here to zoom in, show you some of the fruit that we still have left. As you can tell, we still have some oranges over there in the back. And these oranges are really, really great. They're so juicy. When you peel them, the juice just pours out. It's what they call the Valencia orange. Let me show you down around here. this section. Here's a couple oranges right here. Let's see if I can move them a little bit. There we go. There's one right there. Look at that. They're gorgeous. Just beautiful orange, beautiful size, beautiful color, you know. It's just really nice. Then over here, this is one of our tangerine trees. Again, it's getting a good bloom going. The little flowers, this is going to be all fruit. We had harvested it that about 6 months ago. It was completely loaded. It was tons. And then over here, we've got our lime tree. And as you can tell, there is quite a few limes that are there. Really beautiful fruit. You know, you can use it for your Coronas or beer or whatever, just, you know, or even with your, accent it with anything, actually, you know. Put it even in your salad. And then this is the same tree I was showing you. This is just the backside. And this is, like I said, it's fruit. It's got tons of fruit here, as you can see. And we still need to harvest it because that fruit is all ripe, ready to come out. And then over here, right next to it is another tree, and we're just a little behind the harvest on this one, but it's going to produce tons of fruit. You know, this tree here, as you can tell, some of the fruit is green still on this tree, so it's got a ways to go. But you know, this is amazing. Just how much fruit we really have. You know, it's just, and the fruit is just so plentiful, and it's the best quality I've ever tasted, to be honest with you. So, and then over here, going through our orchard, this is where it even gets better. Here we have our grapefruits, and the grapefruits are just really tremendously huge, and they taste so good, you know, and it's like a sweet grapefruit. A lot of people don't really like grapefruit, but personally I love grapefruit. It's good for you. And then over here, let me just show you how much more grapefruits we do have. As you can tell, like I had mentioned, it is almost harvest time, so we'll be probably picking these in a couple weeks. Got a lot of grapefruits, and we have some fresh flowers as well. And that'll be producing some really new grapefruits also. All right, so then over here, we've got our papaya tree, and over here is another papaya tree that's growing some pretty good fruit. It's got a ways to go before it turns to orange. But you can still harvest it now. It's got the green ones, which you can make some tinola, which is a really good chicken recipe. It's Filipino Asian. Very, very, very tasty. My wife makes it all the time. And then over here, we've got I call this our steroid oranges. They're so gigantic, and we already harvested this tree, but I don't know, maybe we can find one that's still there. So occasionally you do find one just that we didn't get to, but oh yeah, there's one right up there. And like I said, these things are giant, and they're so juicy. You know, it's just they're just big, big oranges. Let's see if I can get to this one here to show you. There it is right there. Look at the size of that monster. That thing is freaking huge. In fact, I think I'm going to pick this bad boy right now. Yeah, because he's ready to come out. There we go. There you go. Look at the size of that bear. That thing is huge. Oh, there we go. I lost all. I'm new at this. I'm not really good at it, but as you can tell, this sucker is big. So, anyways, I'm gonna eat this sucker later. It looks like a good one. Over here, we've got also another tree. It's a plant and a tree. It's called the golden acorn, and it's called actually it's a golden acorn vine combination with a white sapote fruit, which is really good, and it produces really good sweet fruit. Yeah, so anyways, that's growing, and that could grow so tall if you let it, but you got to kind of trim it down. So over here we've got some more tomato trees, tomato plants, and then of course in the background we've got what we call the dragon fruit. What's up, Joey? And dragon fruit is really good, real tasty fruit, and we're just getting ready to see if we have any flowers with that as well. And over here we have what we call the Buddha hand. Buddha's hand. It produces finger-like fruit, very tasty. You can put it in salads. This tree has been growing for probably about a year now. You know, it's getting pretty tall, but it's still we're still waiting for the tree to actually bud. And then over here we got some more tomatoes, tomato vines here. This thing we just picked a whole bunch, so there's not that many on it right now, but we get tons of tomatoes all the time from this one. It's just a really nice one, as you can tell. And then also we got here a small papaya. Okay, and then over here we've got our chamoyas. These are small chamoya trees, as you can tell. These trees are just, the fruit is really sweet. We're just waiting for it to self-pollinate. Usually if there's a male and a female tree around, you don't have to do it, but we'll see. We just haven't seen any budding or flowers yet. Here's are just a bunch of succulents that we had put in some pots. We're probably going to get rid of those because really I don't really particularly, especially my wife doesn't really like them. So anyways, and over here we've got our Addis tree. This thing's going to bud pretty soon. This is a member of the Chamoya family. You know, produces a similar type fruit. It's an Asian tree. Very, very nice, delicate fruit. Very nice. Now, of course, over here we've got our fig tree. Let me just try and back up, kind of get out of the sun. This thing produces tons of fruit. I mean, last year we had so much figs, and fresh figs are so delicious. My wife actually dries them out, and they produce like a Fig Newton type candy. They're very sweet as well. So there's no going bad with this fruit, because once it gets older, you just dry it out. And let me see if I can show you some fruit. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go. Got some little little figs growing right there. You can see it. And trust me, these things are great. They got to be careful though. They got the green beetles that go after it, and a lot of these birds too. So, and then over here, I planted. I had to have it. So when we first moved in, I had to plant an olive tree, mainly because the religious significance to the olive tree, biblical in nature. Plus the olives, I do like olives, very good. And this tree is doing very well, very healthy. And over here, I planted what they call as a blood orange tree, which is very delicious oranges. They get real red, and they produce the most sweetest fruit. I remember when I was stationed in Sicily, we had a couple orange trees, blood orange trees in our front yard, and me and my daughter would go out and just pick them, and they were so good. And over here we got a tomato plant that just came out of nowhere. We didn't even know. We didn't plant it. Just all of a sudden we just started seeing maybe a seedling just blew over here, and now we got all these freaking tomatoes, and these ones are big ones too. So we're just waiting till they get bigger. Right now they're kind of green, as you can see, but eventually they're going to get big and red. So, and over here we've got another papaya tree. This one here is just, like I said, the winter it doesn't do much, but during the summer it grows really good. And over here we have our apricot tree, and during the winter, same thing, grows dormant. During springtime, the tree starts to blossom with some leaves and some buds. As you can tell, it is doing it right now. And eventually it will be a full-fledged tree in a couple months, producing fruit. And here's the other side of the orange trees that I was telling you about, the new ones. It's, as you can tell, it's green, some of the fruit. But there is really a lot of fruit in this tree. If you look around, there's tons and tons of fruit. This is going to harvest so much fruit that we're going to be here for a long time just picking this fruit. Now you look real close, you can see just the clusters it has, just clusters of fruit. Yeah, you see I can zoom in a little bit there for you. Just tons of fruit. So, but anyways, that's just a quick overview of our garden, our orchard, I want to call it. And I'll get back to you in a couple months and give you another video just to compare the two. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye.